And we were living on Potrero Hill at that time, and a woman across the street was always at her window watching me. And whenever I left the house, I had company. I had cars behind me, always two behind and one ahead, and then they would change every once in a while. So mostly I walked. I lived on Potrero Hill. I had my little girl in a tailor tot. I would walk down the hill and go to the Safeway to shop. And one of those bastards would go in the store with me to watch, you know. So I was under constant supervision. So I decided this is too heavy for me. Hey, cut it out. There's nobody there. They can walk by. Forget it. My dad said, "Come home. Come home. Take the kids. Get in your car and come on home, and we'll face it together." So I did. I had a dog and a new baby and 3 kids. 3, I don't know how old they were. Old enough. And we started out. Pretty soon, Doug said, "Mother, we're being followed." So we were followed all the way from San Francisco down to LA and out to Ontario. And about a mile from my dad's home, they disappeared. But they showed up the next day. There was always a car parked at the corner, and whenever I left the house, they would follow me. And this went on and on and on and on. And finally, my brother-in-law, Howard Goddard, who had also gone to Spain, was a organizer for mine mill and smelter workers, and they were having a convention on the border, near the Mexican border in, I don't know, Arizona or Texas. Now I can't remember where it was. And my sister and I decided that we would go to that convention, that we would drive, we would ditch these bastards and go, just get away from them. So we did. We took some doing. My sister lived 20 acres away from us. She came down at night, walked down, took my dad's car and took it back to her house. And I, early in the morning, left my house and I walked across blah, 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 I don't know how many acres to another street, where she, in my dad's car, went out and drove, didn't come to the house, went out there and picked me up, and away we went, and left them standing at the gate. So we drove, and finally was very hot, and we stopped in Indio, and went in, stopped in, got a milkshake or something, and my sister says, "You know, your face is just now beginning to relax a little bit." So anyway, we drove to, I don't know, how come I can't remember whether it was in Arizona or New Mexico, where this mine mill convention was. And we stayed there for the convention and made arrangements with a friend. By that time, my mother was in a rest home, so she wasn't around. But my dad was there. He made arrangements with a friend to come and stay and be there to help him with the kids. So I guess I called home and found out that it was getting a little heavy for Ethel, my friend, to take care of the kids. So I decided I would not wait till the end of the convention and come back with Gat and Seema, that I would go home now. So that's what I did. They put me on a bus, and I went to, no, I guess they put me on a plane. I guess I flew from Phoenix or wherever it was, I can't remember now. I flew to San Diego, and from San Diego I took the bus, and then I came home, and then they were there. As soon as I got home, the FBI was still there.
So your kids were old enough to understand that something was wrong.
Well, more, I think that, well, with very elaborate arrangements, I think it was almost 5 years that he was gone. And I believe that for sure we got together once a year. It was a little tricky, but we managed. We had good support and friends, so that once we went to the beach, and another time, I don't remember all the things we did, so that we got together with Arch, and they knew what was going on. And there was always some agent parked up the street away from our house, but we went away without them, as far as we know. So then of course it was over, and he came home. That was it. Raising bees and living a new life. And they come home every once in a while.